Let me guess, your New Year's resolution has already failed. I've got a fix for that though. How do tech lovers, entrepreneurs, and busy freelancers stay productive without drowning in bad tech, apps, or chaos? That's the question, and this YouTube channel will give you the answers. My name is Nick, and this is Let's Chat Tech with Nick. Hey everybody, and welcome back to the channel. My name is Nick, and this is Let's Chat Tech with Nick. Now, I want to start this video by apologizing. I haven't made a video in a few weeks other than my YouTube shorts, but I got really sick over the holidays, and unfortunately, I was sick for quite some time that I didn't get a chance to film any videos, and then I had no voice for about 2 weeks. So I'm finally getting a chance to film some content, and hopefully we're back on pace. Now, I understand it is midway through January already. How did that happen? But I want to talk to you about planning out your year, doing a yearly review, and instead of setting New Year's resolutions, let's talk about setting actual goals heading into 2026. So I'm going to talk about the exact system I use. I'm going to show you the Notion template I use as well, and let's chat about it. Now, this video is going to be a little bit different. We're actually going to dive through and do a walkthrough of my Notion Planning Hub, and this way you can see how I actually plan out my days, my weeks, and we're even go through, like I mentioned at the beginning, we're going to talk about how you can actually set goals heading to the new year and review your previous year to kind of help set 2026 to make that even a better year. Now, I know it's halfway through January, but that doesn't matter. You could do this at any point throughout the year. It doesn't matter. As long as you do something to set attainable goals, that's the key here. So let's dive in. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to look at the yearly goal setting section. So in this section here, you can see it's broken down to yearly review and planning and the quarterly review and planning. So let's dive in and we'll start a brand new tab here. So the first thing I like to do when I plan out my year is I like to go through each of the months of the year, and I like to write down key moments. Now, I get it, that was a year ago. So if we're looking at January 2025, that was a whole year ago, and my memory isn't the greatest. So one of the reasons, or one of the things I do for this is I go back in my Google Calendar and just skim through all of January. What were the key points that I wrote down in my calendar? And even better yet, I go into my Samsung Gallery app, or you could use your Google Photos, your Apple Photos, whatever your photo album is, go through your photos and see all the key moments that happened throughout the year. And you can even go back into your social media profiles, so whether that be TikTok or Facebook or Instagram, whatever it is. Just go through and refresh yourself on what happened in each month of the year. You can write 2, 3, 4, whatever the key events were, just to reflect back on the year. Now, the next section is talking about your achievements, your gratitude. You want to talk about the obstacles that you overcame, your growth, the goals that you did not meet. So be honest with yourself there. Your relationships, your professional and academic growth if you're in school. And then you want to write down a few little blurbs looking ahead. So based on everything that you wrote down, what are you looking forward to and what are you looking to change, make better in 2026? Now, the next section is setting your goals for the new year. Now, there's a whole list of different prompts. What do you want to learn? What do you want to see? What do you want to have? A whole handful of different prompts here that will help you set those goals that you have heading into 2026. And then the next area is actually setting the goals in 3 key areas: for your health, for your wealth, and your relationships. And those are the things that you want to set, and then you want to track those each quarter, each month, and just to make sure you're staying on track with all of those goals. Now, the quarterly review is fairly similar to that, so I'm not going to touch too much there. What I do want to do is I want to go into the weekly review and planning. This is something I do every single Sunday, and it also helps you stay up to date when it comes to staying on track with your goals. So each week, I want you to write down what your goals were that you set at the beginning of the year. And then you can write a little blurb how you're doing in those goals. So this keeps those goals fresh in mind, and you can continue to work on them. As always, review your top 3 wins of the week. And then, what were the challenges that you had the previous week so you know how you can make the following week even better? Next is going through and what do you want to time block out for the week? What are your major meetings, calls, major projects and tasks that you have to do next week or the following week that you want to write down so you can block time out to get those things done? Once you do that, what are the top 3 outcomes that you want to accomplish next week? So everything that you wrote down beforehand, what are the top 3 things you want to do so next week is going to be a success? Now, next week, this is kind of an important one for me. What are you going to say no to next week? I'm going to say no to watching TV throughout the day. I'm going to say no to doom scrolling on TikTok and set a 1-hour limit. And then what are you going to say yes to? I'm going to say yes to reading 1 hour before bed every night. Whatever the case is, jot that down, and that'll help you plan out your weeks and make you a little bit more successful and a lot more productive. Now, lastly is something I do every single morning, and that's the daily planning. So when it comes to daily planning, I start my day with 3 major steps, 3 key points. First thing is writing down what I'm grateful for. Now, this is huge because it kind of sets you in the right mindset to make sure you're going into the day grateful for whatever that is. Now, the second thing that I'm going to ask is, what are my intentions for the day? My intentions are to work hard and get my to-do list done. My intentions are to take the morning off and work in the evening. Whatever it is, what are your intentions for today? Lastly, to help get into the right mindset, what's an affirmation that you want to write down to make your day even better? Jot that down here. Now, when it comes to the next stage of planning in my day, the first thing I do is I write down all of my meetings I have for that day. So my meetings, my calls, whatever the case may be, whatever's on my calendar that's not a task, that's an actual event, a meeting, a call, something like that, jot those down in your schedule. Then I use 2 systems when it comes to writing my tasks down. The first thing is I write all my tasks that I have to do today. This way they're fresh in my mind right off the hop. Then I use the Eat the Frog method, and I break that down to the top 3, the hardest frogs to get done. And then I use the Make Time method and highlight one task. It doesn't have to be something that you wrote down as your top 3 from the Eat the Frog method, but as long as you highlight one task that you want to get done. So if you get the 3 tasks from the Eat the Frog method and your highlight done, your day is a successful day. Now, at the end of the day is just as important as the morning. I want you to write down your top 3 wins for the day. So that way you can celebrate those wins. Now, the harder question is, what went wrong and where were you uncomfortable throughout the day? Jot that down. And then with that, you're going to write down how you can make tomorrow even better. And then something new that I've just added is I plan for tomorrow and I jot down all my tasks for the next day, and then I take the top 3 frogs that have to get done. So in the morning, all I have to do now is take those, copy those from the previous day into my new task list, and then I just have to come up with a highlight for that day. So it makes that process a lot easier. So that's it. That is a really quick and simple video showing you how you could easily set goals and plan out your year and review the last year so you can make 2026 even better. Not only that, plan out your week and even plan out your day. And if you're looking for a way to make 2026 even better, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna leave this template in the description below so you could try it out for yourself. And with that, hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you got a little bit of value from this quick video, please feel free to like, share, subscribe, all that other fun stuff, and I'll see you on the next video.